Aren't you ready yet?
No, why are you in such a hurry?
Well, I want to beat the rush for breakfast, I want to get a good spot by the pool for sunbathing, and I want to book a tennis court for later.
Sounds like a full day. I think I'll go back to bed.
What's the matter now?
Well, it doesn't seem to include me, does it?
Well, of course it includes you.
Oh, and who are you playing tennis with, David?
Well, Linda, of course.
Why, of course. Why don't you play tennis with me?
You can't play tennis.
I never had the chance. When you were swanning around the local tennis club in your immaculate whites, I was at home having my population explosion.
Well, don't blame me. You wanted children.
What did you want, the family allowance?
I'm not saying I didn't want children, love. All I'm saying is that you don't know anything about tennis.
I know enough to know that I'm 40 love down in this game, David.
You can't play tennis, love, because you're not coordinated. Now, it's not your fault.
Oh, well, that's something, I suppose.
Now, Linda, on the other hand, has a very good eye.
Which one? The one in the middle?
Linda has a very good eye for a ball.
Linda has a very good eye for anything in trousers, you mean. You're always playing tennis with her. People are beginning to talk. And how do you think Robert feels, you playing tennis with his wife all the time?
Well, Robert doesn't mind. He's not bothered.
Oh. Hey, you don't think the wife's swappers, do you?
No, certainly not.
Well, I hope not, because that sort of thing can lead to tragedy. There was a case of a man who went on a wife-swapping assignation and he wasn't even married.
Amy, I'm not interested. How did he manage that?
Well, he had this inflatable dummy in the back of the car. This other man didn't even realise till he'd handed his wife over, and then he found he'd swapped her for a balloon.
Look, what is all this about? What did you want to do today?
I want to see the ruins.
Oh, the ruins. Do we have to?
David, we've been here nearly 2 weeks and we haven't seen the ruins. I mean, what are they going to say when we get back? They'll say, did you see the ruins? And we'll say, no, we didn't see the ruins. And they'll go, they didn't see the ruins.
So what?
So what? They're 2,000 years old, David. Doesn't that make you think?
No, there's no virtue in being old, Amy. Anyway, I don't fancy scrambling over a pile of loose rocks in this hot sun. Not with my knee.
Your knee hasn't stopped you playing tennis, has it?
Well, that's different. That's on solid ground.
You haven't been on solid ground since we arrived.
Now, are you coming down for breakfast or not?
No, I don't feel like it.
Right.
So it's your turn to nab the lunch.
Nab the lunch? I'm not nabbing the lunch.
Well, I'm not. I've nabbed it every day. Where do you think our little snacks come from?
I know where they come from. You slipped a pack of butter into my breast pocket yesterday. It melted and ran all down the shirt front. Robert saw it.
I wonder where that butter had got to. Never mind. Here's your list.
What list?
I want you to get bread rolls, ham, cheese, butter, smoked fish if they've got any, and half a dozen hard-boiled eggs.
Hard-boiled eggs. You sure you wouldn't prefer them to be scrambled?
No, you'd never get them out the lining.
The lining? Do you mean I can't take a bag?
No, of course you can't take a bag. That would make them suspicious. You're not supposed to take food from the dining room.
I know that.
Don't worry, David. You'll manage. You've got lovely big pouches.
What do you think I am, a bloody marsupial? And suppose Robert and Linda see me?
Well, they won't, because they're having breakfast on their balcony. You can just see them. Linda's just dipping into her grapefruit. You could almost drop something on her from here.
Amy?
What are you doing today, darling?
I thought I'd play tennis with David.
Not again.
What do you mean? What's the matter?
Nothing. I wouldn't encourage David if I were you.
I don't encourage David.
Oh, what about last night at dinner? You were all over him.
All over him? You mean I totally enveloped him or simply entered the dining room on his shoulders?
You know what I mean?
What have you got against David?
He is not a company director.
How do you know?
Well, you've only got to look at him. His sunglasses are cracked, his cuffs are frayed, mends his shoes with cardboard.
Well, perhaps business is bad.
And he keeps trying to sell his watch to the waiters. And now he's smuggling food out of the dining room. He had a pack of butter in his pocket yesterday. It ran all down his shirt front. No, I ain't even got a watch, David. He could be a slippery customer.
Well, he would be with all that butter.
You may find it amusing, I don't. I think he's probably out of work and holidaying here at the taxpayer's expense. I'm sorry, I just don't trust him. From the moment he arrived, he's been dancing attendance on you like a moth round a guttering candle.
Robert, how poetic.
Doesn't take a genius to see what's going on.
Doesn't it?
You know what he wants.
No?
You know what he's after.
What's he after, Robert?
Money.
Money.
Yes. What's the matter?
I just thought you might be jealous.
Jealous? Of a butter smuggler? I think he's a con man. After our money. I've been waiting for him to touch me for days.
I know the feeling.
What? Hello, David.
Hello, Robert.
Like to see the telegraph. It's only 3 days old. Found it in the waste bin.
Oh, thank you very much.
Not very good news from home, I'm afraid.
Oh, not more strikes?
No, they're in the grip of a bloody heat wave.
What? Oh, no.
Apparently, it's the hottest July for 30 years. A boa constrictor died of heat stroke in Birmingham.
I didn't know there were any boa constrictors in Birmingham.
Yes, Birmingham's hotter than Madrid, David.
Really? Well, they'll be browner than we are. I really don't think I want to read about it.
Yes, but there is this one rather interesting story about this unemployed chap. Went along to the Social Security and asked them to send on his dole money to the Costa Brava. Now, how's that for nerve? Out of work and holidaying on the Costa Brava, would you believe it?
Yes, well, it is amazing what some people will do.
Can you smell fish?
Fish? No, I can't smell fish.
I expect you'll want to look at the financial
Ah,
section.
yes.
I see those shares you recommended took a tumble, David.
Oh, did they?
Yes. Sure you can't smell fish?
No, I can't smell fish.
How are things in your line?
My line?
Yes. What is your line, David?
Thermoplastics.
Thermoplastics. What a coincidence.
In what way?
I'm in thermoplastics. It's funny we've never bumped into each other.
Well, when I say thermoplastics, it is a pretty broad spectrum, Robert, really.
Well, yes, but surely you must deal with Danvers and Price.
Well, yes, now and then, but actually, I find them really quite unreliable.
I'm Danvers and Price.
Oh, well, when I say thermoplastics, I'm really just talking about the fringe, just on the... more experimental.
You're not in thermoplastics, are you?
No.
In fact, you're out of work, aren't you?
What made you think that?
I think it was the fish that finally gave it away. Actually, Linda's been quite concerned about you. She's always had this weakness for lame dogs.
Lame dogs?
Yeah, so if you need any money...
Now, just a minute. I don't want your money.
That's the spirit, David. Never give up. Plenty of work around if you can look for it.
Is there? Well, I haven't seen any.
Well, you wouldn't, would you? I mean, we are rather a long way from the job centre. That's where you should be, David. Not holidaying at the taxpayer's expense.
I'm not holidaying at the taxpayer's expense. I'm spending my redundancy money.
Redundancy money? Isn't that rather reckless?
I feel like being reckless. I played safe, and look what happened. They made me redundant. No, I wanted to come out here to see that there was another way of living. I'm not talking about this hotel. Have you seen those little squares with a fountain and the whitewashed villages? They're beautiful. Now, all we've got at home is a shopping precinct. Oh, and a statue of a woman with 3 holes in it. Have you ever seen a woman with 3 holes in her? There's also a pub, the Jolly Beefeater, that's got plastic torture instruments on the wall, a jukebox and 2 space invaders. Oh, there's also a park. That's got Dutch elm disease, the river's full of prams, and the lock that swings up on a Sunday. So what have I got to go home for?
Well, I can't wait to get back, and I'm sure I don't know. What do you see in Spain?
Well, if you can't see anything in Spain, Robert, you've got to match much warmth and passion as an arrowroot biscuit.
A what?
An arrowroot biscuit.
How would you like a punch in the nose?
How would you like an egg in your face?
David, Germans, listen.
Oh, bugger the Germans.
If you're heading for Gibraltar, you're going the wrong way.
Well, love, you can't sit up here all day. Why didn't you have your tea by the pool?
Because I prefer it here. Don't drip in the Darjeeling, David. You'll spoil the flavour.
And look, you're eating all these sticky cakes. What happened to all that food I smuggled out?
It had fluff on it.
Well, yes, I know, I dropped it. Still, it'd done you more good than those sticky cakes. Oh, look at them. Put weight on, love.
That shouldn't worry you, David. I think I'm going to stay up here till I reach 20 stone.
You what?
People would be afraid to go on the balcony with me or share a lift. I shall leap into the pool and I shall empty it with a huge tidal wave. I shall have to sit in specially reinforced chairs. And one day, when they are least expecting it, I shall drop on somebody from a great height.
Well, I don't think you should sit up here love, brooding and eating.
I'm not going to. I'm going to see the ruins, and I want you to come with me.
Can't. Play tennis.
Do you mean you refuse?
Yes. What's so special about these ruins, anyway?
They have a sort of faded beauty, David. They remind me of us.
Well, all right, you'll go and see them then. Don't see why I've got to come.
Because I was hoping a column might drop on your head and knock some sense into you.
Amy! Hello? The hurricane we expected has moved away. Towards the southeast.
Where's Amy?
She's gone to the ruins. She won't be back for hours. Where's Robert?
Gone to golf.
So we're alone.
Yes. David,
What's the matter?
should we be doing this?
Yes.
But think of Amy.
I'm trying not to.
She's very jealous.
I know she is.
Is it because she loves you?
No, it's because she objects to me loving somebody else. I mean, I'm an obsession. That's the trouble with her. She can only love once. She's like the mute swan, only twice as dangerous.
But you said your marriage was hollow.
Oh, it is definitely hollow. It's been hollow for ages, but she depends on me. She needs me.
But you don't,
Oh, no. No, definitely not.
But she said...
Oh, well, she would. She's always saying things like that. But it's hollow, empty and hollow.
David, we must be truthful with each other.
Well, of course.
Robert says you're out of work.
Me? No.
David?
Well, I mean, I am redundant. You know, I'm looking around, waiting for the right offer. You see, I was chairman of this thermoplastic organisation, and there was this boardroom power struggle, and I was a draftsman.
Draft?
Yes, I was quite a good draftsman. I mean, when I was younger, they said that I showed a great deal of promise, but I was too young for promotion. And then one day they said I was too old for promotion. I'm not quite sure when I was right for it, but I think I must have been away at the time on holiday.
Poor David.
I suppose Robert is very successful.
Yes.
Yes, I thought so. How many houses have you got?
Oh, David, only one. And the cottage.
Oh, the cottage. How many cars?
Cars, well, 3.
3 cars.
Please, David, why do you want to know about this?
I'm just curious.
Well, I don't want to discuss it.
Sorry. How many suits has he got?
David, stop it. It's not important.
But it is to me. How did you know that I wasn't a company director?
Well, I suppose it was the shoes.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Amy forgot to pack my other pair. Pairs. And now the sole's coming off one of them. I've tried to stick it, but it won't hold in this heat.
It doesn't matter.
Just to me. I walked into the dining room today and it suddenly gaped open like a mouth and started peering at people. And when I moved, suddenly it snapped shut like an angry dog. See, I'm always being defeated by inanimate objects, flying shirt buttons, zips that don't work. It's the story of my life. Do you know what I'd really like to do? Stay here with you.
Oh, David.
Oh, I'd like to walk barefoot along the shore with you. I'd like to bake clams with you over a driftwood fire. Learn to play the guitar.
Wouldn't work.
No, I'm not musical. The fire would go out and I'd probably put my foot on a Portuguese man of war.
No, I mean, aren't we just being swept along by all this? Isn't it just the smell of the wild honeysuckle, the sound of the cicadas, the throb of the guitars? I mean, what happens when the kissing has to stop?
I don't know. It hasn't started yet.
Oh, David.
I love you.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Now, Amy, you must keep calm.
I am calm.
Amy, I'm sorry.
Don't speak to me.
Well, look, at least let me explain now. Now, I know it looks bad.
Looks bad? It doesn't look bad. It looks bloody terrible.
Look, I think we should all stay calm. This is an important moment in our lives, and what we do and say now...
It wasn't anybody's fault. It just happened. There was nothing I could do about it.
Nothing you could do about it? What did she do? Bring you down with a drug dart?
Now, you see, I knew you wouldn't understand.
Wouldn't understand? You're not satisfied with doing it. You want me to understand it, you bastard. Don't you realise this is adultery? They used to stone them for this in the Bible.
Yes, you'd have liked that, wouldn't you? You should have lived in those days. You'd have been sitting there on the front row with the biggest pile of rocks you could find.
You're absolutely right, you treacherous little sod.
Amy, you stop that. You want to get arrested?
I won't get arrested. This is a Catholic country. The law's on my side. This is the home of the Inquisition, the branding iron and the rack. Not that the rack would worry you. You've always wanted to be taller. What do you see in him? He's a man who's middle-aged and redundant.
Well, I'm afraid I don't see him like that. I happen to find him attractive, and if you'd ever bother to look at him, so would you.
Attractive? Good grief. Not only has she got no tits, her eyesight's defective.
Now, don't listen to her, Linda. She's just being vindictive. There's nothing wrong with you.
I suppose you find her attractive as well?
Yes, I do.
Well, it's this place. It's the enchanted cottage all over again with two middle-aged loonies running around thinking they're beautiful.
But what if we are? We're only deceiving ourselves.
And what about me? How do you think I feel? Discarded after 15 years like an old
Oh,
sock.
there's no need to be so dramatic.
If you can think of a more dramatic moment than this, David, I suggest you get in touch with John Osborne.
Now, look, you have got to be calm and rational.
I am calm and rational.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to reason with her.
No, you're not. Linda, get into the bathroom and lock the door. Now, this won't do any good.
It might not do her any good, but it'll make me feel a hell of a lot better. Come out here, you whore!
Look,
You
don't you
middle-aged
understand? She's upset enough as it is. She just wants to talk to you.
I don't believe it. I think he wants us to be friends. He's got me on the scaffold and now he wants me to shake hands with the executioner. She feels terrible. How do you think I feel?
Have you finished, Amy?
What are we going to do, David?
Have you finished breaking things?
Yes, that's my last ashtray on the subject.
Right. So are we now going to be civilized about this?
Civilised? Why not? Send for a dry martini and a long cigarette holder.
I mean, can Linda come out?
Well, I'm not going to talk to her through the door.
Right. You can come out now, Linda.
Are you sure?
Oh, it's all right, Linda. I don't know what came over me. Must have got out of bed the wrong side this morning. We are going to be civilised about this. We're going to have a cup of tea with a slice of lemon. I think it's still warm. It's incredible, isn't it? When this tea was hot, I still had a husband.
You still have a husband. I never intended to take him away from you.
No, it won't make any difference.
Won't make any difference? Who do you think you are, the Sultan of Turkey?
Oh.
Of course it'll make a difference. You can't love two women. Wait a minute. Have you told her you don't love me?
I thought I loved you once.
You
Amy.
certainly did. You covered yards of Basildon Bond telling me about it, and I've still got the letters to prove it. And you promised to go on loving me. I've got witnesses. The vicar's still alive. 100 guests at our wedding. They all heard you. And God. What about God?
All right, all right.
Oh, I should have listened to that vicar. He certainly knew a thing or two. What was it he said? He said, you're entering upon a sea of matrimony. Sometimes it will be rough. Sometimes the sea will be calm. But in the end, with God's grace, you will reach safe haven. And that's exactly what it's been like. 15 years before the mast with Captain Bligh.
Now, there's no need to get hysterical.
Well, then don't say you didn't love me. You wouldn't leave my side for 3 months. People thought we were joined at the hip.
Perdón, señora. ¿You finito?
Yes!
Now, Amy, please, we must stay calm.
Calm! Oh, yes, that's the first thing I noticed about you, Linda. I said to my husband, you don't mind if I call him my husband, do you? I said, look at that woman. Have you ever seen such composure? Have you ever seen such inner calm?
Yes, well, through yoga, I have achieved the secret of inner tranquility.
That's what I said. I said that woman has achieved the secret of inner tranquility. And let me tell you something else. You are going to need it.
I warn you, I've done judo.
Yes, and yoga, and flower arranging, and pottery, and now adultery.
No, it wasn't like that. It just happened. I don't make a habit of this. I'm not promiscuous.
Aren't you? David will be disappointed. I think he was counting on it.
No, I wasn't.
David's not like that.
How do you know what David's like? I've been married to him for 15 years and I still don't know what he's like. Getting to know David is like peeling an onion. You remove one layer only to find another. And the more you peel, the more you weep.
Where'd you get this onion from? I'm nothing like an onion.
He doesn't love you. Don't you see? This will fade with the suntan. Look, he's had a bad year. He's lost his job. You're rich and successful. This is his revenge on capitalism.
It's got nothing to do with that. Don't listen to her, Linda.
Well, then what is it? Is she more entertaining? Is she more exciting in bed? What does she do? Use glove puppets or juggle 6 oranges?
So there's no need for all this, Emmy. We're just not right for each other. I mean, we're always fighting. We should never have got married. We're just not compatible.
What do you mean we're not compatible? Let me tell you, we are very compatible. Shut up! If we're not compatible, how did we break the leg off the bed in Brighton?
Now, please, Amy, I don't want to hear the details of your personal life.
It's too late now. You are my personal life.
Well, there's no need to lose your temper. Poor David, it can't have been easy living with you. He's right. You should never have married. You've never understood him. He's sensitive, artistic.
Artistic? Well, how's this for artistic?
Bloody painful!
Good Lord! Now, what do you suppose the Germans are going to make of this?
Oh,